Hey guys, it is Melissa Corvin and I am jumping on live, and I know that it is Friday, February 2nd, and we rolled out a meeting promotion at the beginning of the week. Jana Bullard and I did, and we've been meeting to do this training all week long. But with city meetings finishing out the end of the month and the craziness, we didn't get a chance to jump on. So I am jumping on live tonight, and I want to share some tips for you for doing meetings this month. You guys, meetings were how I really started off my business. And I did a lot of what I call 2-on-1s, where I would take me and I would meet with a friend and I would invite my coach to come too. Now, I wouldn't set it up with my friend that it was just necessarily us all the time, but I would tell them, hey, I want to bring along my friend. She's going to be with me. Is that okay? And all the time it happened to be Crystal, and I would let her share her story. Hey AJ, I'm so glad you're jumping on. Make sure you're commenting. And we would meet with that person and do what I call a 2-on-1 meeting. So this month, we want you guys to be doing different types of meetings. Now that's just one kind, the 2-on-1, where you're meeting up with someone and you're taking along at least one other person to either share their story or share their experience. It's kind of like a three-way call, but it's in person. And you can invite people for coffees, you can invite them to go to dinner with you, you can invite them for lunches, or you can just invite them to just meet up. I did this with a lot of the different people that were interested. My Crystal and I dropped in and saw my insurance agent. Guess what, you guys? My insurance agent still purchases. She came to the city meeting a few months ago, and she still uses our product. We would do this with my good friends, people that I went to college with, and just let them know a little bit about what we're doing, and it was always so much fun. Now I had plenty of no's too. I had a few of my good girlfriends tell me, no, I don't think this is for me, but that was totally fine. So the other type of meetings are going to be your in-home meetings. You can have those in your home. You can have them at a restaurant. The thing with restaurants is they can be a little bit loud, so if you have a table of people, they may not be able to hear what the conversation's about or hear what you're talking about. So what I really like to do is maybe just have them in a home where you can sit around the kitchen table, have some samples if you want, or just have some ice water and just visit. I will tell you some key things that I wrote down. Sorry, I gotta get my list, that I think are important for you to have when you are planning a meeting. So first off, you want to make your meetings duplicatable. So what does that mean? You don't want to get out the fine china. You don't want to get out all of your fine crystal or anything like that. You want to keep it simple. So paper plates, you could get the cute ones if you want from Hobby Lobby or whatever, but paper plates, napkins, forks, plastic forks, spoons, stuff like that. You don't have to go to all lengths when you're having a meeting, especially in your home. You want it to be duplicatable, simple, and easy for the newest easy person that's getting started to feel like they could have an event in their own home, okay? So when you put together your meeting in your home, you want to send out invitations. I do a Facebook invitation, and then I also like to do printed invitations. You can handwrite them if you want, or you can actually do the cute little text message invitations. You can use red stamp, or you can even make a pic collage invitation that you text out to people. Love stuff like that. It's really good to have as a reminder also. But if you make a pic collage, you can actually send it to the UPS store and they will print it for you, and that you can pass out as an invitation. But make sure you're inviting. You cannot over-invite to a meeting. If you want 10 people, you've got to invite 100. People are busy and they may just not be able to come. But you know what? You're going to get a lot more people at a meeting this time of year than you would have back at Christmas time. Okay? So this is a great time to have get-togethers and events because people are interested in what you're doing. They're interested in success. The other thing is when you have new starts, you need to plan a launch party or an in-home party or an in-home meeting right away. You need to tell them, hey, I want to help you get this for free. I want to help you share this with a few girlfriends. I want you to be accountable. So we're just going to have a little bit in your home. I'll bring the samples and, bring trim sticks. Those are always great to sample. Spring, you can bring the lemon lime spring. You could bring lean. Lean's kind of a controversial thing. Some people want to try it, but some people, if they don't like it and they like this at the meeting, then That's not necessarily a good thing. So, I would tell you that it's really important that you also have before and after pictures. You can actually print them and you can laminate them if you want, or you can get them on your iPad, have them in your own little photo album. Take your iPad, sit around the kitchen table, and pass your iPad around with the before and afters from the album so people can look through it. Get a variety of pictures. Have someone younger, have someone older, have a man, have a someone that maybe just needed it for energy or was looking to help their autoimmune system or their psoriasis, stuff like that. There's so many pictures and stories. I will tell you, it is better if it's a story you know. If it's somebody that you know, it's going to be much better than if it's someone you don't know and you can't recall their story. It's going to make you more credible if it's somebody that you actually know. The other thing is that you for sure need to make sure that you have your before and after pictures, that you also have order forms, and that you have some kind of product benefits form. The product benefits form. I like to take the saturation map and the income summary too. Now the income summary is required. This, if you're going to talk about the business opportunity, you have to have that present. That's part of compliance. So make sure that you have that printed and take it with you, so you can share that with people. I also like to have an order form, even if I plan to take the order online, because it's nice just for people to see the pricing and things like that. But you don't have to have those necessarily either. Then I like to have the saturation map, because I want people to see we don't have very many distributors. And I ask them things about, well, who do you know in Maryland? Who do you know in Maine? States where we're not very populous yet. I like to ask them, because then it kind of opens their eyes up to sharing, opens their eyes up to opportunity. I also like to make sure you have pens. It's crazy. Sometimes people can't find pens in their own house, so make sure you have some pens with you. Make sure that you have the empty bottles of your product. So if you don't have a floating kit, which a floating kit is just an extra kit that you purchase to have on hand so that when somebody's ready to get started, you can sell it to them that day and they can start the next day. If you don't have a floating kit, just take your own empty bottles and talk about them. If you have the product benefits sheet printed, honestly, you don't even need the empty bottles, I don't think. And if you're wanting to make a display, it could be the before and afters and the floating kits. If you are just wanting to sit down with somebody like at a coffee shop, taking the floating kit inside and setting it up and having all these before and after pictures is not very convenient. Your iPad is best, and you can have the income summary saved as one of those photos too. I also like to start with a welcome. If everybody's there, let's say you have in a home and you have everybody gathered up, I like to start off with welcome, and I like to pass out the product benefit sheets. Then I go right into my story, and I talk about how this program's helped me. This is sharing, not selling, so you want to share good stories. Then I jump straight into the product, and I go over the product. Sometimes, honestly, I just go by the sheet, the product benefit sheet, and it's in alphabetical order, and I just list it as to what our program is. And then there's actually a picture, and it has a breakdown of the kits, Ignite and Ultimate, and the Ignite Plus, Ultimate Plus. You could print that and laminate it if you wanted to, or you could save that to show the different types of transformation kits. After I talk about the products and the kits, then I go straight into our amazing ground floor opportunity. And I like to tell people, and I like to use the words, we're pioneering into this area. We want to help you get your products for free or make some extra side income. And I invite them to join me, okay? I tell them, this may or may not be for you on this side, but you're going to feel great. You're going to feel good. And guess what? 50% of Americans are dealing with some form of chronic disease or pain or illness or something. So let's help them. And once I do that, I pass out order forms and pens. And I always pass the order forms out last, because I don't want them looking at the prices all throughout the presentation. And I usually will then fill out my checkbook, if you have a checkbook, and I offer to pay memberships if people are ready to get started that night. It kind of seals the deal, helps everything, and it's also a really great write-off, and I know tax season's around the corner for all of us too, so we're needing those write-offs, and we're needing to keep track of it. And I also like to, if there's guests that, if it's the hostess that's hosting it and she's on the product, I usually will have her share her story. And sometimes I will take the roll of tickets to, and I will say, okay guys, whoever has questions, you get a ticket, and I have this little bundle of trim sticks or spring or whatever it is unopened, and I'm going to give you a couple of these samples. Your name goes in the drawing every question you ask. I like to use that if people aren't already talking and asking questions. So those are some tips for having meetings, because we want you guys to be out there and have meetings. Today is the 2nd already, right? And we have a huge month ahead of us. February is a short month. So don't get caught being behind. Be ahead. Go out there. Influence other people. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Ask people to have meetings for you. Ask them to host one for you. Your meeting to count for our contest just needs to be you and 2 other people. You have to take a picture of yourself there, and you have to post it in mine and Jana when we were talking in our little deal. So I hope that is exciting for you guys, and I hope that's helpful. Go out, do lots of meetings this month of February, and we will all grow and be ahead going into March. Good night, you guys.